would support him. Until, finally, in the 12th year of his quest, the most important event in the history of Zoroastrianism took place.
I've asked you here since you're said to be the wisest of the followers of our religion. I hope you prove to be so. I wish you to question this priest for me, to test the strength of the message he says he brings us. Ask him any questions you like.
You say that you are a priest. Is that of your religion or ours?
I was chosen from your religion by Ahura Mazda, the Lord of Wisdom, to waken men from the darkness in which they have been slumbering.
You dare say our established religion is one of darkness?
It is, because any religion that worships evil gods as much as good ones is blind to the bright light of truth.
We only worship the gods of evil to appease them. How else can their harmful influence be kept away from us? How else can evil be controlled?
You cannot control it if you do not understand the true nature of this world. There are two spirits in it, one of good and one of evil.
So, there are two gods now. I thought there was only one.
There is only one God, Ahura Mazda, the Lord of Wisdom.
And did he create this world on his own?
Yes, he created everything.
So he created evil too, this good and righteous God you ask us to worship?
He did not. I did not say...
Clearly he did. If he created everything, then he must have created evil too. What a cruel, unthinking tyrant this God of his must be.
He is not cruel or unthinking. I will not have my God spoken of in such a way.
Then explain to me. Convince me why they are wrong.
I need a lighted torch and a goblet.
Get them for him.
The goblet makes a shadow on the table. The shadow is like evil. It has no source. It is entirely negative.
But surely the source of the shadow is the light.
How can it be? It is its opposite. But the shadow cannot exist without the light. It is entirely dependent on it.
This is mere wordplay. I don't think so. Go on.
If you look, you will see the shadow seems attached to the goblet, an inseparable part of it, just as evil often seems to have a vice-like grip on all our lives.
So how do we loosen that grip? You can't be parted from your own shadow.
You can, if you choose to follow the good path, which leads us always closer to the light, which is God's wisdom. You see, the shadow now becomes separated from the cup. It has lost its hold on it. And as we move still closer to God, the shadow becomes even weaker and more powerless, until at last we are able to see it for what it is, a mere illusion, and itself lacking the strength to attack us. If all mankind chose to further the truth, then evil, like darkness, would be vanquished. Indeed, when we reach that stage, evil will finally be defeated in the world, and death and destruction will be no more.
Death is not evil. Death is a part of life itself.
We have always believed that, yes.
If we gave him long enough, he would convince us black was white. Of course, death is not evil.
Then if you were to die now, this instant, would you regard it as an act of goodness, the act of a kind and loving God?
Go on.
Answer him. It is a foolish question.
It is not. Death in our world is inevitable, for without it, divine justice could not take place. Death is the separation of the physical body from its spiritual counterparts, the soul and the spirit. Clearly, that which destroys life is evil.
One thing I notice, there's no talk of punishment. Are you not afraid of your God?
Why should I be? He is my friend, more like a father to me.
My lord, I can put up with this no longer. This is no religion. This is no God at all.
Why do you say that?
Because one can do whatever one likes in this faith. What if we were to lead wicked lives? One will be punished in the hereafter.
After death, all our souls will be judged at the bridge of the separator, which for the virtuous is as wide as any road, but for the wrongdoer is as narrow as the blade of the sharpest sword. Those who have done more bad than good will fall into the abode of gloom and darkness below, while those who have done more good than bad will rise up to the abode of joy and light.
And so we're encouraged to lead good lives.
We are.
Call Jamaspa. I find much that is beautiful and wise in your religion.
Then I beg you to be true to your heart and accept the message of Ahura Mazda.
No, my lord.
You cannot. You dare to tell me what I can and cannot do?
My lord, if you accept this religion, it is not you alone who will accept it, but your people who will have to accept it too.
He's right. This is not just a personal decision. I must have time to think. I shall need to talk further with you.
Whenever you wish it.
It was ordained that King Vishtapha would be the person who would deliver Mazda's message to mankind. However, some of the court advisors felt their own positions threatened, and so they plotted to discredit Zarathustra.
You see, my lord,
Who discovered all this?
the man who cleans the house is, as we thought, he's not a prophet. There's a sorcerer who wants your power and control. He's a wizard who wants to rule the country in your place.
What have you to say to these accusations?
I do not know how these things came to be here. They're not mine, my lord.
But they were found in your rooms. How can you say they're not yours?
I did not put them there. You must believe me.
He's not to be trusted, my lord. He only wants your wealth and power. He should be killed.
I'll decide what happens to him. I give you this one last chance. Tell me the purpose of these objects. Are they for some ritual in your religion which you haven't told me of?
They're not mine. I can only think they've been put here to discredit me in your eyes. Perhaps people are jealous of our friendship.
Then they need no longer be. That friendship is now at an end. Deal with him, Jamaspa.
This I ask you. Tell me truly, O Lord, who is truthful, who deceitful? Is this one evil or that one evil? How can I deliver deceit into the hands of truth in order to transform it in accordance with your teaching? How shall I make my voice powerful enough to lead mortal men to your eternal truth?
Overwhelmed with anxieties concerning Zarathustra, the king spent long periods riding his beloved horse, Aspasia. Some days later, for no apparent reason, the king's horse became very ill. The monarch loved this animal, who no doubt became a symbol of adventure, a source of loyalty. The Queen and the Prime Minister Jamaspa stood by, unable to console the king in his misery.
He's doing all he can.
And it's not enough.
There's no point in upsetting yourself, my lord.
There's every point in upsetting myself. The best horse I ever owned is dying, and I'm sent a healer who is at death's door himself. The only doubt in my mind is who will expire first, the healer or the horse.
I was told he's the most skilled one we have, my lord.
Perhaps he was, many years ago, before any of us were born. Bring him here. Come on. Get up, get up. Well?
Well, can you not tell us what is wrong with him? He's very ill. Very, very ill.
Out! Out!
We must be patient.
Bring me another healer.
Yes, we can do
Bring me three.
They say he will not last the night.
They tried every remedy?
Everyone known to man, and a few new ones besides. Finished the food.
Tell the king I can cure his horse.
You?
Yes.
How do I know you will not kill him?
What good would that do? Besides, I have a special cure.
They have tried every cure.
Not with the power of my God.
You will know.
Do as I say. Tell him.
I can well believe that he will cure him.
Well, I can't.
But it will only be further proof that he's a sorcerer.
If he can't get out of prison, how can he cure a dying horse?
Isn't it worth trying?
Maybe.
My lord.
If I cure him, it won't be with sorcerer's magic, but through prayer and the power of my God.
It will be a miracle nonetheless.
It will.
One that I know he can perform.
If you can perform such a miracle, then my queen is right. Yours is indeed a good and powerful God.
He is.
If you succeed, I shall take it as a sign. And I shall then accept your teaching.
And I shall accept it also.
And our son Isfandiar shall help to spread your word throughout our lands.
My lord, this is just more trickery. You must not trust this man.
Why not? Did you want my horse to be cured?
Forget what sort of man he is.
But perhaps I've been misled. If he can do as he's promised, how can he be a sorcerer? How can saving life be the work of evil spirits? What his religion says is right. Only the destruction of life is evil. Life itself is good. I swear to you that if you do as you say, I will seek out and punish those men who have falsely accused you, whoever they may be.
Yata ahu verio ataratush ashat chitacha vangeush dadamanengo shiautamna.
The story of the Black Horse may or may not have happened exactly the way legend tells it, but the support that King Vishtaph gave was indeed the turning point for this new religion, Zoroastrianism. One has only to think of someone today coming to be President of the United States or the Queen of England and announcing that he was in fact a messenger of some newly discovered god, armed with specific instructions on changing the entire nation's way of life. To realize the impact Zarathustra's meeting with the king had. Over a period of years, King Vishtaph traveled the entire country, teaching and explaining the message of the new monotheistic religion. The king, traveling with his son, was successful in convincing his people. And so, Zoroastrianism became firmly established throughout the land.
Jamaspa, I am too old for this life.
What will you do, my lord?
I have led a full life. I have fought for our faith with all the energy that I possess. And now I have grown weary of the struggle. Isfandiar can continue the good fight in my place. I wish to spend my last remaining years in quiet contemplation, cut off from the world and all its troubles.
And how will you then be a good follower of the faith?
Easily. I shall commit the rest of my life to the worship of Ahura Mazda. I shall thank him daily, no, hourly, for the wisdom and happiness that he has brought me. What's the matter? Why do you frown? I thought you'd be pleased. I'm going to turn my back on worldly things and live a priestly life.
But our priests do not turn their backs on the world. They are asked to marry and have children, to be part of the living world. You must show your devotion to Ahura Mazda by your good thoughts, good words, and good deeds in this world, not outside of it.
Then I'll give away all my wealth so that I'll no longer be polluted by it, by material things.
You seem to want to punish yourself. There is no need, my lord. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the things which one can have, so long as your wealth has not been dishonestly obtained.
We live in such comfort. We are the most fortunate of men. Surely there must be something we can do for those less privileged than ourselves.
One should follow the example of Ahura Mazda, who gave so generously when he created the world. Wealth is nothing to be ashamed of if it comes from hard work. Man must care for his family and give generously to those less fortunate than himself.
And I have a gift for you, my lord. Not wealth, but worth everything to me. My niece, Habobi. If you would have her as your wife, it would be the greatest honor you could do to me. I cannot.
Cannot?
I see. Very well.
No, it's not very well. He offers you the greatest gift in his possession, and you spurn it. Why can you not? Your priests are encouraged to marry.
I cannot accept her, my lord, without seeing her face first. It's not in our custom to reveal a bride's face before her marriage.
No, it is not. Indeed, it is not.
It is the custom now, my lord. If we marry, we must marry as equals. You will be my partner, not my property. By the sacred act, we will become united in both the physical and the spiritual worlds. And we will work by our good thoughts to help each other acquire good minds. And learn to be truthful, one to the other. For truth is the greatest gift that husband and wife can give each other.
Zarathustra married and had many children, and according to legend, he is believed to have been assassinated at the age of 77 by fanatics opposed to his teachings. The prophet left behind a legacy for all mankind. His principles of a democratic way of life are embodied to this day in governments the world over. One can see his ideas today at the United Nations in the King Cyrus proclamation of democracy. His historic treatment of women as equals was revolutionary then and even now. Perhaps Zarathustra's greatest gift to mankind was his striving for truth.